Bum,
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 ba-da-dum,
ba-da-dum,
bum, bum.
bum.
Hi, I just said Pui, and you're watching the View Review.
Yeah.
Ah!
That's amazing.
That is awesome. That is a fantastic way
The wild
to
horse.
start the day. The Wild Horse making a surprise appearance, welcoming everybody to the Blue Review. I can't do it any better than that. Welcome, but I'll try anyway. Welcome to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I am Marcus Grant, joined by Greg Bergman and Parker Bell, and at least for the moment, Yasiel Puig.
Yes.
That was fantastic. Where did that come from, Parker?
So, as Greg knows, we got a chance to head down to our friends over at Legends Attic yesterday. We had producer Anthony over there covering, but of course, the DeMarco and Travis show had a very long, great, extensive talk with Yasiel Puig and his agent. Amazing story, as we know, the Wild Horse. So, I mean, you can check it all out. We put it on socials. It's on the ESPN Los Angeles YouTube. But Greg, it was actually really cool watching that and just hearing Puig talk about Shohei, his favorite home run with Kobe behind him. I love that era of the Dodgers. That's like where I kind of grew into maybe Dodger fandom, the Wild Horse and some of those guys down there. So this was really cool.
And it's the guy behind him was like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you making Puig do this? Please go away right now." But no, he's
I'll play one more time.
Awesome. He also said that he wanted his goal to get back and play with the Dodgers. So that was interesting as well. So, but yeah, great interview, and Puig's great. You gotta love Puig.
That's awesome. Puig, your friend. Don't ever forget that.
That's right. He's more lore now than he is how he was so good for such a quick period of time.
Yeah.
Every hit was every time it was at the plate, it was like hit, home run, hit, double hit, home run.
Well, he was appointment television, when he first got to the major leagues, because you just never knew. I mean, Vin Scully giving him the nickname the Wild Horse just because, he put the ball in play and you just never knew what was going to happen, but it was always going to be entertaining. I mean, there was a short period of time when I thought it was a real debate between, Yasiel Puig and Mike Trout for who was the best young star in Major League Baseball. That was a legitimate conversation for a couple of years there. So anyway, obviously going to be always a big part of the Dodger history, the Dodger story. So shout out to Yasiel Puig. We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and now the chat, it's been multiple people saying Puig better than Conforto. Maybe we can get him to replace Conforto. It's just right there.
We got one more sleep until Game 1 of the World
Mas.
Series. Uno mas. So one more for Game 1 in Toronto between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. We still got a few things to talk about. I know, Greg, you had some questions that you were sort of mulling over. We can dive into those. First, though, I want to give a shout out to LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, as always, transforming the travel experience. They're trying to save guests time, looking for the People Mover train to get up and running early next year. So that should be great as well. You can go to flylax.com/transforminglax for more information. So yeah, you had a list of questions. I don't know if we'll get to all of them because I think
it's fine.
A couple of them can be done for today. You asked the question, which I think is very valid, about why there are very few angles coming out about this World Series outside of the, are the Dodgers ruining baseball? I don't know. Is it just because it's the easy topic, Greg? Is it just because, because internet trolls rule the world? I don't really know, because I feel like there's a lot of interesting things to talk about with this series.
Yeah, there should be a lot, but I mean, there's people even like Carl Ravitch, who is, a very big time voice of baseball. I'm trying to find the exact tweet. He came out and was saying something too, that it really was. Let me see. I have to just find the actual tweet if I can. But oh yeah, here it is. The Blue Jays don't beat themselves. They have Vlad, Springer, Yesevich, and Gosman. They hit good pitching. They will have home field advantage. They might save baseball from being ruined. Now, I don't know if he was being serious or was he doing that in jest, because you can't tell out of just the written word on Twitter. And I don't really feel like Carl Ravitch is one of those guys that's like, oh, hey, I'm going to be a jokester. So it's a very weird take for a broadcaster to do. But why is this the whole thing? I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. The Dodgers aren't ruining baseball. This has been the way baseball works in years. There's been 16 different champions in 25 years. I mean, that's more than any other sport. There's not really ever repeat champion. There is never repeat champions in 25 years. It is a lot of the same teams, but Toronto wasn't in the World Series last year. I mean, we've seen Dodgers Yankees once since what, like 1980 something. Like this is not that's the two same teams over and over and over again. Yet in the NFL, we see Chiefs and Philly before, and we see the Chiefs, and we've seen the Chiefs, and we've seen the Chiefs,
and Chiefs and 49ers a couple times, and the Chiefs and the Eagles a couple times.
Right, you know what I mean?
I mean, look, man, we had 3 straight years of Warriors Cavs in the NBA Finals, and nobody said. Well, actually, people did say Steph Curry was ruining basketball, so I guess that sort of tracks.
Oh, he is amazing.
I mean,
you see it firsthand. Yes, the other day.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry are going to ruin basketball, as if Luka, LeBron, Jimmy, and Steph. Yeah. The 4 of them together are going to ruin the NBA, is what it's going to happen for sure. I'm going to choose, and I hadn't seen that tweet from Ravage. I'm choosing in my own mind to believe that he's trolling the trolls, right?
I mean, I hope so.
That he's basically he's basically going down and saying, look, don't count the Blue Jays out. Here are reasons why they could win. I know that's not the narrative. So I think I'm choosing to believe that. Obviously, I can't know what's in his mind, but I don't know. I mean,
I'm trying to look back and see if he makes other jokes like
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Parker Bubba Fett in the chat saying the Dodgers are saving baseball, highest ratings in the last World Series, 20 plus years. I mean, could you make the case that, I don't know, Shohei seems to be saving baseball, right? Just because Shohei Ohtani has gotten a lot more people interested in baseball that, might only have a passing interest or no interest at all. I think everybody just kind of wants to see this guy who really truly is a unicorn of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, the MLB is using videos and pictures from the All-Star, I think 22-ish, where he was with the Halos, but Vladdy was there and they were interacting with each other. They're using Shohei just as every spin and every angle because it's Shohei. He's elevated the game. The Dodgers, we made this argument on Mason and Ireland the other day, just are elevating baseball, despite what people say, the whole evil empire type stuff. It does end up being a lazy take because we all have made the argument here on the Blue Review, here at the station, every single day. The Dodgers are doing what any other team, if put the resources correctly, could do. It may be a percentage of it, but still you can do what the Dodgers are doing. You can read the book on the Guggenheim Group and you can participate in the way that they're doing baseball. So it's tough to see that people are still doing that lazy take. I don't know why there really aren't any more angles, because I agree there's a lot of ways that these two teams and these just storylines can be a little bigger. I think you play into the whole 30 years since the Blue Jays have been there. I'm not seeing much about it. I'm just seeing, the ruined baseball take. And to be honest, I'm starting to think about it. I wonder if it's because everybody just sees this damn 9-1 record, ERA of 1.40, batters hitting 132 against this Dodgers starters. Maybe they're just darn, don't see anybody getting over this, and we got to find some sort of spin.
I think there's something to that, just that the Dodgers have been so dominant in this postseason. Here's the thing. I think you take the long view of it, right? And they dominated, obviously, the Brewers. I don't know. I don't feel like they dominated the Phillies. Yeah, they won that series in 4 games. But I don't feel like they dominated. I feel like the Phillies had just as good a chance to win that thing as the Dodgers did. So but I think people look at the 9-1 record, like you said, and they look at how well they're pitching, and they see Shohei do what he did in the clincher. And I think the foregone conclusion is that the Dodgers run away with this series. I don't know, Greg. Maybe it's because we agonize over every game and every pitch with this team, that I don't think any of us are taking it for granted that they can win this thing. But I don't know. Maybe that's just the outsider view, because I think for a lot of people, like my friends who are fans of other teams, they have been of the opinion that, like, oh yeah, no, the Dodgers are going to win this thing, unless something catastrophic happens. And so maybe that's why nobody else is talking about any other part of this series right now.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is because for all those reasons. I don't know, like what you saw them do, and I think most people in baseball fans, just in general, saw the Dodgers Phillies series as kind of the World Series. That was the two best teams that were left, and the Brewers were never really going to have a shot at it. But especially with the way that it all turned out, too, just then how they steamrolled them. It was always Dodgers Phillies, just like the year prior. It was always Dodgers Padres. That whoever won that series was going to kind of roll through, and this one feels like the same. The fact that they steamrolled for the most part the Phillies, that turned out to be a 3-1 win over. They lost only one game in that series. It's like, okay, if they're going to do that to the Phillies, then who's got a shot in this? And then they're going to just sweep the Brewers by holding them to basically like 10 hits total. I don't know if that's the right number.
One
It's
run
probably
per game. That was
one run per game. Well, like, who's going to stop this team? So maybe that's why it's a foregone conclusion for so many people. But I don't know. Like, we are sitting here watching a team, and we see everything. We've seen what can happen to this team, that they can go through their lulls. So we're, I don't know. I want to say it's nervous. I don't even know if it's nervous or it's like overconfidence. It's like a mixture of the both. It's like I'm overconfident.
I'm nervous.
I have this overconfidence that's making, and I hate that I'm overconfident. So that makes me nervous that I'm overconfident, and I feel like I'm going to jinx it by being overconfident. It's a very strange place to be in.
Are you saying they're going to win it in 6-7?
6-7. Apparently, there's a whole new thing with 4-1, and I don't know what that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not researching
the daughter.
that.
No, it's from Trudell and his kids.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I'm not researching that right now.
I don't want to.
Hasn't even reached me. Maybe I'm on now.
Yeah, I'm not looking into that right now. I think basically the long and short of it is the Dodgers are winning. They're winning a lot, and I think on top of it, they are set up to keep winning for the foreseeable future. I was talking to a coworker who is a Giants fan and asking him his thoughts on the Giants' new managerial hire, which, if you haven't heard, that's Tony Vitello, who formerly was the head coach at the University of Tennessee, helped the Volunteers win a national championship, has never had any major league managing experience, but he's going to be running the Giants for the foreseeable future. And the consensus was, look, it's interesting to see Buster Posey do it his own way. This could be potentially great. It's really interesting. It's worth a shot. But the end of it was, but it doesn't seem like anybody's going to touch the Dodgers for the next 10 years. That was sort of it. And so I think that's kind of the way people look at things. I would be curious to go back. And I mean, I guess, through the power of the internet and your public library system, we could go back.
Library system.
Hey, man, the Dewey Decimal System is never going to die. All right, let's leave it alone. But I think we could probably go back I would love to go back to the early 2000s and see if people were having the same conversation about the Yankees. Oh yeah, and LOS. Good point. The Giants won 3 of them in 5 years. That stupid devil magic that they had in the even numbered years or whatever it was. Nobody talked about the Giants breaking baseball. I don't think anybody talked about the Yankees breaking baseball when they got to 3 World Series in a row. I mean, maybe they did, but it seems like everybody has just sort of landed on this thing because of how the Dodgers are doing it. I don't know. Maybe we're also bitter.
People in the end start finishing the argument with, oh no, but it's the deferral stuff. Like they'll do the Dodgers ruining baseball, and then when you give them the argument of anybody can do it, they hit you with the deferral stuff. And at that point, the response is the same to me. Okay, well then the owners can find some way to do the same. It could just be a new trend in baseball. And if the Dodgers are going to be on the cutting edge of trends, then oh well, Dodgers versus everybody at this point.
Well, like they look at it, we've talked about this before, but the Dodgers put like almost 75% of the revenue that they make back into the team. And that's where this is the whole thing. They take their money and they put it back in the team. And yes, they have a spot that people want to be in. People want to be in Los Angeles. We all understand that because of the weather, but we also have some of the highest tax rates in the country. So it's, there's good and bad to all of this, and it's expensive to live in Los Angeles. So it's not just all about that. The fact is they put money into it. They have a good farm system. They have a good management team. They have good ownership. That's what it is. That's why people want to come here, because they want to go to a place that has a good owner, and they want to have that put money into the facilities, put money into the system, put money into the players, put money into minor league system, so that you have a good experience while you're in the minor leagues. The Dodgers do it right, and teams like Pittsburgh, who have to hold off on, they're like, no, we can't give you that extra year of your contract. We'll just let you go. And so this amazing player goes somewhere else because they're about to hit their service time or whatever it happens to be.
Or some teams don't even pay their AC.
Yeah, right, yeah, or some, and then have people come out, which you sent yesterday, Parker, that people being like, oh no, that's actually not happening. He's not lying, but he's lying. So
by the way, the coda to that story about the Angels and their air conditioning, I believe there's a LinkedIn posting for an HVAC technician for the Los Angeles Angels. I believe somebody posted a LinkedIn.
They need to call Next Gen.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about deferrals, I was thinking about it, and I looked this up. There's an Associated Press article from February of 2001. It starts with 10 of the highest paid Arizona Diamondbacks have agreed to defer large chunks of their salary the next few years to help out the financially strapped franchise. The 10 who agreed to the owner's request are Randy Johnson, Matt Williams, Todd Stottlemyre, Brian Anderson, Curt Schilling, Jay Bell, Tony Womack, Steve Finley, Luis Gonzalez, and Armando Reynoso.
Hey, were those guys good? I think those guys were pretty good.
If you remember correctly, it was Luis Gonzalez that got a single off of Mariano Rivera in October of 2001 to help the Diamondbacks win a World Series. It was Randy Johnson
their dynasty.
Stopped the dynasty. It was Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson who pitched their butts off in that series to help the Diamondbacks win a World Series. So this is not a new thing. Look, if it wasn't for deferrals, we wouldn't have Bobby Bonilla Day.
Right. We love Bobby Bonilla Day.
We love Bobby Bonilla Day.
It's a national holiday.
National holiday, yes.
And we should embrace it before it soon becomes Shohei Ohtani Day, because
I think
it's gonna happen.
I think that's the bigger point of all of it, right? So like the fact is nobody's ever done it to the scale that Shohei Ohtani did. He had $700 million, and he deferred $680 million of those dollars to be able to get guys like Yamamoto to come over, and other players that so they were able to pay the right amount of players. It's a much higher scale that it happened, but that's what he wanted to do. And well, guess what? They made all that money back right away in that first year from all the stuff that happened, and now everything else goes in.
Thanks, Bubba.
Don't read that.
Thanks, Bubba.
Appreciate you, Bubba. We can put it on the screen. We don't got to read it. But either way, like, it's because of the high scale. It just makes it's. You made that money back, and then you put that money back into the system is the whole part of it. And this, the Diamondbacks didn't do that, obviously, because that whole team fell apart right after all of that. The Florida Marlins, they would pay guys, and then they would tear it apart.
They were
and then they would pay guys, and then tear it apart. The Dodgers are doing it in a way that is sustainable, and they do it sustainably from the bottom to the top, where other teams should be doing more of the way they are doing it, not the way that the other teams are doing it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like this. Here's the thing. It's all narrative. It's all based on kind of the last thing everybody saw, and I don't think anybody was talking about the Dodgers ruining baseball when they had an 8-game losing streak in the middle of the season, right? When they were getting thumped by the Astros and look, they got swept by the Angels this year.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Like,
they got swept by a lot of teams this year.
Like, I don't think the team that's ruining baseball would get swept by the Angels. it's narrative. It's people just kind of being frustrated with what's happening. I think it's funny too because people are like, I'm so sick of seeing the Dodgers, and I'm like, you mean the same Dodgers that flamed out in the first round in the DS like how many years in a row? The same Dodgers that their fan base was ready to strap Dave Roberts to the top of the Hollywood sign if he didn't get something done, like those Dodgers. I get that they've been in the playoffs a lot, but I guess from where we sit, the level of success has not been, I think, what we had hoped for all those years. So now that it's they're in the World Series for back-to-back years, I think for a lot of us,
Puig should have one. So I'd argue that those cheating Astros and Red Sox ruined the game more than these.
I mean,
talk.
They actually impacted the integrity of the game.
Where this is just paying guys and putting money in. And by the way, the Astros had a legit argument to being the team that actually had the better dynasty before they didn't even make the playoffs here. They were making the World Series more than the Dodgers. Yeah. Now that the Dodgers are winning 2 in a row, or is about on the verge of winning 2 in a row, those are things that now people, baseball's being ruined. The Astros were doing all that stuff too. Like, you think they got all that? They got those players all for free?
Also, I think for anybody who wants to complain about this current iteration of the Dodgers and the current run of success they are having, you can respond with 2 words: Frank McCourt.
Always his fault.
Because that was as bad a period in Dodger history as could be. I mean, the Fox years weren't particularly great. They were night and day compared to what happened under Frank McCourt. Go look up the name Vladimir Spunt and tell me about psychics living in an apartment in Boston being paid 6 figures to send the Dodgers good vibes. I try to do that for free. So I sit on my couch for $0 and try to send the Dodgers good vibes. Nobody's ever thought about cutting me a 6-figure check. All right.
Can we all have some more good vibes as well? Can we have that Yasiel Puig thing again?
Yeah, man.
Before we get out of here, get some more good vibes. Puig, your friend.
Because everybody, Puig, your friend.
Hi, I just said Puig, and you're watching the View Review.
Yeah. Also, I do enjoy looking at Timu Jake Gyllenhaal standing behind him too.
Yeah, he looks so angry.
just
like, why are you there? Don't talk to my player.
Oh man! All right. There you go. That was I think a more cathartic session of the Blue Review here. We got some things off our chest. I think everybody got a chance to get out some feelings, and then tomorrow we can all sit and start channeling our good vibes, because tomorrow we'll be talking about Game 1 of the 2025 World Series. But in the meantime, that will do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. We appreciate you all in the chat, as always, jumping in the early mornings to come participate with us. Thanks to LAX as well. Stick around. The Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Maybe we can ask Sedano what it's like to have to stretch up and interview a giraffe after he goes off for 40+ points in a game. Would love to get his thoughts on that as well. We'll be back with you, of course, tomorrow, 6:30, 6:55. For Parker Bell, for Greg Bergman, I am Marcus Grant. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Good show. See you guys. Oh, lasers. Oh, we didn't have